yards, and with that short of a haul, them trucks, I don't know, I'm sure they haul at least 12 yards, maybe, because they're not gonna have to go on the highway.
Yeah.
2 or 3 days they have that in there.
Yep. And they put that belly dump to work, which sits there all the time. When you start doing the gravel, you make that belly dump and that pup work, because they just sit there. You're doing 3 trucks in one. So, not a big deal. Pretty simple.
Anyone else?
In regards to that, I think the safety of what we have is an overriding factor going through basically Flynn's yard with equipment, vehicles, like it's already been mentioned. In my situation, as far as the equipment that we're using the county road to move up and down, that's probably the most dangerous spot next to the hill going down into Deep Creek on that whole road right there. And I think that's something the county needs to look at because of that. And what's already been mentioned, the access to and from the highway is a disaster the way it is. And I think by moving up there, you just alleviate a whole bunch of potential issues that can come from general public. And these roads are getting nothing but more traveled as every day goes by in the valley. So I think it's a good move to make now and not later after we've got a wreck.
Orange also agreed if this one goes in, they do away with that approach straight out from its house there. So the state doesn't like to have 2 approaches close together, but it's there and it'll stay if this other doesn't go.
Yeah, I've heard it mentioned that they're gonna take that approach irregardless. I don't know where that rumor came from, that's not true.
Yeah.
I can keep the approach as it is if we don't do this new project.
I ran into that when,
Yeah.
287 South, and when they first started having those meetings, and I asked Jim Davies, I said, I got an approach at a certain spot, and he said, there's an approach now, and he said, it'll stay there, so
Yeah.
they'd have to
Yeah,
leave it
no, I
there.
mean, I don't know where that rumor came from, that I'm gonna lose my approach, but that's false. So, I just can't have 2 approaches that close, I have to choose one or the other.
Mhm.
One other quick thing is, the county right now has an opportunity where Warren's willing to do this. In the future, that may go away. And, you're talking, $18 a yard for road gravel and all the rock and everything else. And you're talking a lot of money worth of stuff there. And culverts and the fencing. Right now, Warren's willing to do this, to get this job done, to help the county out. In the future, that may come off the table, and the county still may want to do it, and it's going to be all your guys' expense at that point.
Well, plus the opportunity for the right of way.
And, yeah, right away as well.
Yeah.
It's quite the opportunity sitting here on the table right now.
But the highway is still gonna relocate Flynn Lane running into 6 Mile, so you're still gonna have traffic going through there.
How would you have traffic though if you make it farm use only?
Well, I don't know if we can take a bunch of state taxpayers' money and relocate that road on the south end, and then say only locals can use it. I mean, that's an issue that's gonna have to be addressed with the Department of Transportation more than us.
So, why not abandon the road then from there on, and I'll build my own road to 6 Mile across my property?
Then they would have to do that for Warren, because that's Warren's property, and he loses his access, so they have to redo that road. But if you abandon the road, then they're doing it for him personally, and the road will still get put in there, because he loses his road, and then the county has to use the other one at that point. It may not have that big turnaround area in there and stuff like that, but I think the state still has to put that road in there.
Yeah, they're gonna, the 6 Mile road, that will be redone coming in there.
Well, and Warren's Road, I'm assuming you're talking about Warren's Road from his place that goes along the highway to 6 Mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll have to almost give that back, won't they?
I don't know how that works. I really don't, you know.
I'd assume they'd have to give that back to you and put it in still.
Because they'd be blocking access otherwise.
Well, there's really nobody can argue about access being blocked, because coming off the highway onto Flynn Lane, they got a clear shot into there with the new setup. And going off the highway onto 6 Mile, they have a clear shot, so.
That's hard to say how that'll work.
Because they've already got that in their plans, that they're gonna realign Flynn Lane with 6 Mile.
Yeah,
Right. Mhm.
Yeah.
So, the question that I have is why do we wanna take taxpayer money and relocate that road? And then we're not gonna let taxpayers use that road? That, if they're gonna spend that money for a county road, for a taxpayer road to run into 6 Mile, then you have to allow the taxpayers to use that road. Either that or else the highway department has to abandon their plan to go into that road and simply make it just a road for just, all they would probably do is just put the access off the county road, and then it's your responsibility to come through your field. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't know what the highway department's gonna say.
I think they'd be amenable to that, would save them a bunch of money, you know, and I'd
It's
be
up
all,
to them, but-
and I'd be all for that, you know. So maybe that's a conversation we need to have with the highway department there.
I think their logic is just two separate turnoffs, one turnoff into 6 Mile, one into the new approach to Flynn Lane to the highway.
Yeah,
That saves them having to build that goofy turnaround like they've got on Nelson Lane now, which looks kinda neat until you try to negotiate with a semi, and it doesn't work worth a darn, because you got traffic coming from two directions. And lo and behold, where do people park when they pull off the highway and the car breaks down? Right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
They don't
And
seem
really
to get to either side of it.
the road that right now connects Flynn Lane and 6 Mile was built by us anyway, years ago.
Oh,
That's our private road, so if I need to haul some gravel and make myself another road, to me, that's no big deal.
Well, that's right, that's just going down ditch banks anyway.
Yeah.
That's not even on, is that on highway right away right
It's,
now?
it's about splits it, you know, it's part of it on highway for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So as for this conversation, it honestly doesn't really matter. That's a conversation from Warren and the state to work out
Then
that.
why would the state not go for that one that saves them the expense of doing that?
Right.
Why would they not do that? You know? And I would be fine to, well, I don't know what the logistics are of getting that stretch of Flynn Lane abandoned. But that would be, you know, that's something we need to look at, I guess.
Do you happen to know how many feet of Flynn Lane they were gonna relocate?
Of Flynn Lane,
Yeah, where they were gonna move it back up 6 Mile. Do you know how many feet of Flynn Lane they were gonna reconstruct to get that tied back in through your property?
it's gotta be probably 250 yards.
It should be on, you got your plans for it?
I didn't bring it, no, I did see there's a picture there.
On
I
that,
don't know if
look
that's,
at it.
there's nothing to give us any scale there, but.
Right. Just a picture of it. Thank you.
Well, over where I'm proposing to build the road is 660 feet, so that gives you an idea, it's less than that by half, it's probably 150 yards.
Well, there's the map with how much the highway department was gonna realign that.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
So your new part is 600 and some feet instead of 1,000 feet? Or?
Yeah, I shot with my laser rangefinder and it was like 666 feet, thereabouts anyway. Yeah, I've seen this plan many times, the highway plan. So I mean, if that's what you're thinking, I don't see why, you know, we could approach the highway department and say this can go away. There'd be no reason for it.
There's no reason for the road to come into 6 Mile.
Yep.
Can you just build your own?
Cause I just don't know. Yeah, yep. And like I say, it wouldn't have to be a big fancy road, it was just a farm use road, but, and I'd obviously put the road on my property, so there's nothing we could say.
So is there an issue with people up 6 Mile that wanna come down and use Flynn Lane? That they have to come onto the highway and then come down and then get back onto Flynn Lane, or, I mean,
Well, they've never had a legal way to do it in the
Right,
past.
that's what they have to do right now.
You know, obviously they use my road, which, and I've never said anything, but there's no legal way that they've done it up to this point.
Okay.
Because the road that connects Flynn Lane and 6 Mile Lane now is not a public road.
although it's used by the public.
Yeah, but it's never been maintained by the public,
It's never been what?
maintained by the public.
Oh, okay.
Dana's never graded the road. He's told me many times that the county cannot maintain that road because it's not a county road. Now, this winter, a few times, they have plowed the snow off of it, which I was very grateful, but as far as grading the road, you'll never see a grader on that road, they turn around. Last year, and I can provide the bill if you want, I hired Les Shipman to grade the road for me. Because, it was rough and he was in the area, so yeah, I agree, there may be some heartburn for people who live up 6 Mile, but, you know, the fact is, they've never had a legal way to do it. So, as far as if they have a legal way now, it would be a bonus for them, but they've never had a legal way to do it before.
Is for pickups, you can't get a semi across that corner anyhow.
No.
Never make it.
I've tried many times.
Even my air drill, I can't get my air drill across
Oh,
there.
my, we've tried, doesn't work.
So you guys go down the Nelson Road to get down onto the highway then, or you still go out Flynn Lane and try to get on?
We go down Nelson Road, it's our only access. Now when I'm doing equipment, I go through Warren's yard.
We use semis through Warren's yard and onto the highway through his yard, or Flynn connects to the highway.
Yeah, cause you would have to backtrack to use
Right,
roads
so
and
we
stuff.
just, it's, yeah, right, coming out of dry hollows, yeah.
Which would always be, you guys always have legal use of it.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Farmers, ranchers.
yeah.
Is there any other comments or discussion?
Well, I would just reiterate my last comments and from the last meeting is, you know, coming up on a 90 on that stretch of road, like I said before, is, you know, that's a huge thing. Exactly what Corey and Brandon said, trying to look out, you know, and look backwards, trying to see traffic. It's just dangerous, that intersection the way it is right now. Even if they did put a turnaround area, it's still not feasible for anything other than exactly what Leonard said. People are gonna break, their cars will break them and they're parking right in the middle of the damn road is all they do. But having that 90 out there, at least people have an opportunity. Yeah, it's a long stretch of road to get across, but it's gonna get worse, I think, before it gets better. But at least you have the opportunity to see and make a good decision when you're pulling across there. And hopefully we put some turn lanes in and help everything else out too, so. I know it's
There's already a turn lane for that approach.
Well, there is, for your approach, it's there, so that worked perfect.
Yeah.
Good.
They've got a turn lane for the
That's
approach.
good.
It's in the six.
it'd be nice if we could make right-hand turn lanes too, but.
Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? Yeah.
You know, great, turn left, which would be nice to turn right, so.
Yep.
That's just my opinion on it. Yeah, I think for safety, public safety component, and just the safety of our kids and his family and everything else, I think it's appropriate thing to do, so.
No, I just, I guess maybe just some questions and clarification. Cole, can you respond to any of the questions brought forward, or suggestions brought forward just from the legal aspect of planning?
So just listening, I just jotted down some notes, and you answered one of my questions, because seemingly looking at the map without referring to a county road map or a county road book,
Mhm.
it appeared that Flynn Lane is the only connector road for 3 miles without bumping traffic out on the highway. So my question would just be to any of the neighbors to the east of this road. But obviously, if, I'm just gonna take it at your word that this is a private road right there, so they actually
Yeah,
don't
yeah, we
have
can
legal,
research it. That's fine.
they don't have legal access anyway.
No.
So that question is off the table. Your approach, you said you've been working with MDT,
Mhm.
and your approach permit, is that for a county road? Is it for private use or for farm use? Do you know exactly how it's spelled out on your approach permit?
Well, the permit I have now is for family use or farm use,
Okay,
you know, but I'm sure they would give us any permit we want, because they said we could build this county road out to there, so
Okay,
I would assume it would require a new permit, but I sure don't see where.
but you don't have that in hand?
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
But you know that that's
Well-
gonna be required.
It'll be required, sure. It's not in hand because we haven't even got permission to build the road yet, so, you know.
Another note that I had on here, you mentioned something about this north-south road, you know, from your house south to the highway,
Mhm.
there, you know, where Flynn Lane is.
Yeah.
The portion that you're wanting to close, you're essentially wanting to shut it down, what is that, maybe 100 yards from your house,
Mhm.
correct? And then
Yeah.
go all the way south, close that.
Yeah.
So that could not be used, one of you had mentioned, I'm not sure if it was you, Commissioner Slivka, or you warned about, you know, the public could still use that road. That would be false. It would be at your discretion. Just so that everyone is aware of that, you can decide at any point in time, if indeed the commissioners do decide to abandon this road. Abandoned means obliterated, gone forever. If you decide to close it, it can be opened again in the future if for some reason you decide, or your predecessors decide that they want this to be a county road. So just clarification on that. It
Oh,
would
I
not,
see.
it would literally be at your discretion, because it would now be your private property. Because
Right,
once the road is
so
closed,
abandonment is permanent,
permanent,
closure could be,
just like a shop, you know,
Really?
open and close. Yep,
Makes
so
sense,
same
yeah.
thing. So keep that in the back of your mind, commissioners and Warren, as to moving forward with this
makes
process.
sense, yeah.
I would also suggest that you petition the commissioners to create a county road first, step one. Because you don't want to go through this process and close off this county road, and then the commissioners of the public for some reason say, no, we don't want to open this other portion as a county road.
Uh-huh.
Your road's gone, you have nothing, everyone has nothing. So just
Okay.
as a timeline.
Kinda thought that's what we were doing, but,
Okay,
yeah.
but you will have to carry the petition. The county cannot
Okay.
carry the petition, you or anyone of the public. The county cannot carry the petition
Mhm.
to create a county road. I can assist you in that process,
Okay.
but we can't go door to door and solicit that information.
So explain the petition to me now.
So essentially, there's paperwork to open a county road, to close a county road, or to abandon a county road. We'll start with opening the county road, creating a county road.
Yep.
And I would give you a list of people that you need to contact. I can help you, get all of that information, and you go to each of these people.
Mhm.
And there's a place on the form where they oppose, or they're for or against this road.
And how many signatures would it require?
It depends. It depends on the area. I mean, I have to look at the map.
Okay.
You don't have to get the whole county.
Right, well, I kinda figured that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I can't give you a number off the top
Okay.
of my head without looking at the map and looking at the residents. So that would be step one. We would
Mhm.
petition to create a county road. Step two, again, it's up to your discretion, however you want to carry this petition, to either close or abandon.
Mhm.
Go to those same individuals, get signatures for or against.
Okay.
Then bring that to the commissioners. This is all, it's a process, because each petition will require 2 weeks of posting. So not just your
Mhm.
boots on the ground going door to door work, we
Yeah.
also have to publish it in the newspaper.
Uh-huh.
So bare minimum, we're 1 month out from doing this and having this overall picture created like you want.
Mhm.
Another note that I have on here, that your gravel, the material that you have, it'll have to be approved materials. Do you have a copy of the county road standards?
I don't, but I know the county has used that material for years and years and years.
Okay,
They've crushed it and top dressed every road on our side of the county, and they've used the raw material for bedding on the road.
Okay.
So that,
Actually, when we did our subdivision on Sand Hills,
Mhm.
it passed.
okay, perfect.
so,
These are just thoughts running through my head as I'm
Yeah.
sitting here. I'm not going to take a copy of your test results. This would just be advice that I would give the commissioners. Make sure it's either been previously used, so you have that
Oh, yeah.
history of it, or that you have some type of testing results.
no, just in the last
material.
5 or 6 years, the county has crushed probably 20,000 yards of gravel out of that pit. and
Okay,
used
so
it.
they must have something on file showing that it passes.
I hope so.
Okay,
I guarantee it's better than the lime rock they're using on the rest of the county.
I guarantee you that as well.
Second that.
What else did I have on here? Oh, and then the cost, I think that would have to be something that, I know you said that you'd reached out to.
Well,
me
I talked to
bit.
BSC, but then, yeah, and then I know Dana's been awful busy, but it'd be nice to get some sort of an estimate from the county, but what I'm wondering is if, and that's something Franklin and I can work on, if we may be able to get the state to pitch in on some of this, if they can save the money of doing this Flynn Lane to 6 Mile deal, which will take a tremendous amount of gravel, there may be some
Say,
negotiating
Warren?
power there.
Say, Warren,
Yeah.
have they talked to you about who's paying for this from here to there? I assume they are.
They are, yes.
And I would bet you can convince them to take whatever that money is and put on the other one.
That's what I was just thinking, yeah. That's something we can work on there, and wouldn't it be cool if we get the state to pay for the damn thing?
Right. And I just think having
Possibility.
something tangible, because these three sitting up here, as you all know,
Yeah.
they are accountable to 5,612 taxpayers or
Yeah.
residents of the county to
Mhm.
make sure that they're being fiscally responsible with everyone's money. And so if they have something in their hand that says it's going to cost us this much money, or hopefully this much money,
Yeah.
it's easier for them to answer to the public.
It'll be a different price probably though, if the state does it versus what the county would do it.
That's the problem, yeah, yeah.
But I think if we can have a picture of both of those, if you can get together just some raw numbers, and I can assist you on that as well, you know, working up with
It
Dana.
wouldn't surprise me, Warren, if we couldn't negotiate a check from the state to the county and let somebody else do it.
Leonard's a really good negotiator, I think he just volunteered
And
himself.
that's what
didn't
they've done.
Well, because the money's already allocated for this, for the highway, so. It's something we can look into, for sure.
Highway, they're calling me every week when what's taking place on this, so I guess we could, maybe we need a motion where tentatively say that it's, the project will be going, so. It isn't much for them, it's their signing and I think something on that end for that, on that, where they have the turning lane there.
Yeah, but if we take this aspect out of it, this new road they gotta build, that'll change things for them a little bit, we'll have to, might take them a little time to process this.
So,
Really, the only issue that I have is using the county equipment to build that road. I don't think that that's, you know, because we're gonna end up into who down the road next wants to have another road built. Well, I just want a road across this. All I want you to do is come up here and build a road from Delger Lane to Highway 12 going to White Sulphur across the subdivision above the golf course, because I don't wanna have to drive the town to get onto the highway, and I don't wanna drive to Canyon Ferry because it's too busy. So I'll give you all the material, and then will you come build this road?
Well, I can see where you don't wanna start a precedence, but,
Although that's a case by case scenario, and this one is more of a safety thing than anything.
The
And-
convenience, right?
Right. It's not
Convenience to us, I
convenience.
guess it's.
and in the end, you're talking about 600 feet of road, and the county won't be maintaining probably a 3/4 of a mile. Isn't it from your house to the 6 mile?
2.5 and 3/4, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a new road, it's just moving a road, is all it is.
All depends on how you look at it.
And we have a letter detailing the current plan. We probably need an updated letter stating that they are willing to do your new plan
Yeah.
before we could really commit to anything. So I think there's just a couple of pieces of homework to get done.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess if that's what it is, Warren, if you wanted to, I'd go with you, and we could set up a meeting with the state and see what they say.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Maybe go right over to Butte or, well, I know this one guy here in Helen, we could go there first and then go from there.
Yep.
Hey, Warren,
Yes.
when you talk with the state, just ask them and say, rather than building what they're offering 6 mile up, have them just build over 2. Doesn't look to me like the distance is much difference in what they're creating. I can't believe that you can't sell that to them.
And I would think that if you're willing to donate that easement, it looks to me like the distance is about the same, so they're gonna be building road one way or the other.
Yeah, they will, they will.
So I don't know why they wouldn't just,
Are they buying,
Yeah.
are you giving them an easement or are they buying the property?
Well, no, they're trying to acquire the property for this, so they wouldn't have to buy the property either.
Well, or you make them buy the other property. I mean, if, it's apples for
Right,
apples,
right,
is
right.
what it looks to me like, it's just location's the only difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you got the 2 options to go with them, but I think you've got a lot of stuff in your cards
Well,
to convince them to use the other route.
the rest of Flynn Lane, is that an easement, or does Flynn Lane own a right of way through there? Does anybody know?
The main, it has to be an easement.
It's an easement,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, all county roads are actually an easement to the
that's
county.
what I thought, so they wouldn't necessarily have to buy the ground to move Flynn Lane for me, they just give them the easement through there too, so it matches the rest of the road.
And then they abandon their easement for,
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess so.
That's how they're working with the railroad, it's basically, they're abandoning their easement on the railroad and then taking an easement from me to go across my property on the stuff that the county road's gonna go on. The stuff that they're putting their state highway on, they'll have a deed to, but the county road going into Toston will be sitting on an easement.
The biggest thing I think they're planning now is to, if they can abandon that approach of yours there.
Yeah.
For their final plans.
yeah, yeah.
Because that's what's, I think that's about the only thing that's left on this planning is this part right here, other than getting easements right away from some
Yeah.
landowners on up there, but that's the biggest thing I think right there.
Yep.
So, you want a motion that this is tentatively approved?
so that gives them, the
With-
state more,
Until
it gives
the-
you more cost to the state too, because you're abandoning an
I
easement
would
to do
caution
this.
against that, Mike.
Yeah,
Or a, for the
We-
tax.
We don't, we can't do that kind of a motion. We have to motion for
We
things
can
that
have
have
a
a
motion
concrete.
until this is approved from the state there. Actually, it is approved from the
We can
state.
agree to allow this to move forward and bring the information back to us, but we can't make a motion to, without having concrete information to make a motion on. But we can certainly agree to the steps that have been lined out by Nicole to getting, the information from MDT. We don't have the documents, we don't have the letter yet. We have some homework we need to make a motion and actually have something solid like that.
Well,
I would think that we would voice support or approval for your relocation project as far as it meets approval and plans from the state.
that's what I was saying.
I don't think we're not gonna approve a road or anything until we get the
Yeah.
approval from the state to change that approach and whatever they wanna do with the approach onto 6 Mile. As soon as we see their paperwork on that, then we can move ahead with whatever portion, with the portion of abandoning that road and accepting the new road coming across.
And we do have that in that letter,
Okay,
yeah, and that coincides with those plans.
yeah.
And that's already been decided. That's more of a, this is for your information, we don't have to accept that. It doesn't matter if we do or not, MDT's already made that decision.
Okay.
So that doesn't require a vote either.
Which is that? On the closing of that?
It's MDT's plans that are sitting right in front of Warren.
Yeah,
That's the letter
I've
from
got
MDT.
everything right here.
And that's fine, what I'm saying, Franklin, is that letter is not saying, commissioners, with your vote for approval, we will proceed. What that letter is saying is, we shall proceed. They don't need our vote, it doesn't matter to them, they're already proceeding with this.
Well, yeah, but they still need
Letter-
this for the final end on this, there's a set of specs that are probably that thick. And
Yeah.
each stop sign, there's one page, there's elevation, there's distances, so that's,
Oh, yeah.
so that's what they need to, that little bit to finish up on this here.
But I think what you have, Warren, is the support of the commission to go ahead and proceed in the process that you're in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we wanna do it right, I mean, I think this has become a little more of a bigger issue than what it really is,
Yeah.
I mean,
Say, Mike, how did they handle Conkey Lane, what is the lane that goes up right Toston between Jeannie Mitchell's and me?
Greaves Road.
Greaves Lane,
Yeah.
Greaves Road. How did the commissioners handle that? Out of the state?
I wouldn't know.
You didn't accept or reject or anything else, it just,
For the plan, for this new plan, we've never heard anything from the state about it at all.
I mean, they're taking a county road off of the highway and going on the east side of the highway into Toston, going across Greaves Lane, and then, of course, giving a turnout off of that to the county to get onto Greaves Lane. It's just resembles what Warren's asking to be done here, almost to a T. So I don't know, maybe you don't get to find out about this either when the state takes off. Cause then you're inheriting another, quarter mile of county road to take care of. Whether you like it or not, I guess, I don't know how that works, but it is what's happening.
Well, I think,
Well, I have to accept it, I don't know if you guys get told the same thing or not.
I think it stayed the same because it's,
But,
now it comes into the 287 bypass, and so it'll be coming back onto 287 bypass.
except that's gonna enter the highway about halfway through the field south of my house.
Oh, really? They're diverting it back.
Convert it backwards,
Yeah, they're pulling it clear back to,
Huh.
just a little bit past the end of my horse pasture,
Oh.
is where they will take the 287 bypass off and then parallel the highway into Toston on the left-hand side. Otherwise, you've got such steep slopes to get up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, the east side.
So that's where they're diverting that, which is gonna be a lot like yours. And obviously, they're building all of that bypass road on the project. So I would bet you can get your whole road built by the state over to Flynn Lane if you suggest to go that route than the other, because it's sure not gonna be like complicated for them.
Well, see,
It's a matter of who they might have to get approvals to do it.
yeah.
But I look at this distance here, and I can't see your distance up here, but
Yeah.
from here to here, I just don't believe that's a whole lot farther
It's not, it's very
than
similar.
what you're wanting to go here. So I think their cost is a new issue from here to
Yeah.
whether they build that or they build this. And this is so much cleaner for them and for us. They don't even have turnaround pad in here at the moment.
They don't, no, they
No,
don't.
they got trying to come off a road going this way,
Yeah.
coming back this way. That turn there is gonna be,
How fun's that gonna be?
it ain't gonna happen.
Have you seen how they got that?
Yeah, no, I thought they had a whole pad.
Try to make that with your semi.
I see they don't have that. It's about the same thing as what you got turning on the highway if you wanna go north.
Yeah.
So I think if you get the highway in the middle of that, I think you're gonna find out somebody else will pay for that road pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And build it, not even pay for it.
Yeah, that's not gonna work well.
Yeah. Well, I'll get with you and we'll figure out some next procedures, and then, you guys got anything else for us?
They'll come back with an agreement with the state on that right away. And we can move from there.
So as far as, you mentioned you didn't want the county machinery to build that road, I imagine if they were paid by the state to do it, that would be a little different.
Well, I don't think that the county would build it regardless of who pays for it.
Even if the state would write a check to the county?
I don't know, would we do that or?
We need to ask MDT, if, I've never seen them come in and say, hey, county, build us a road. They have the equipment, they have the engineers. I would imagine that since they were
Yeah.
going to build the Flynn Lane to 6 Mile,
That's
that they
probably-
would
that's probably a
build
good point, yeah.
themselves. I can't imagine they would do some
What
kind
they've
of.
done with me or working on is if it's going across private property, they give me money to build it. If it's going across their property, then they will build it. But they're not allowed to build a road on private property. If Warren's gonna, and that's, I can't speak how that's gonna get handled. If it gets turned into a right-of-way, maybe they got latitude, but like going from the highway to the railroad tracks, they will not build the feet to get me into my bin site. They'll give me the money to build it myself. But going into Toston, they're just taking the land and paying for the whole works to do the county, what I'd call the county road. So that's a fine line as to which way the property is when they get it, I guess. But I don't think it would be going across private land because it's a county road when they get that. So I think they would just have that in the bid for the whole highway project. Until they change their minds.
Well, let's get a hold of that Therese.
Yeah, I'll give her a call. She always calls me every Tuesday anyway.
See, yeah,
So, either she'll call me or I'll call her
Okay.
tomorrow for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if they'll, might come over, I mean, it's gonna be a pretty big change to their plan, they may wanna come over. and-
Yeah, I think they will, yeah. And that fella took that Kevin Malone's place in Helena.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I can't remember his name right now, but,
yep.
he's the one that come to your place that time, was
No, I
Kevin,
remember.
Kevin Maloney.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess, tentatively, it looks like everything's gonna go, it's just that we get this little bit of,
Well, that kinda opens a whole new can of worms with doing away with, getting the state to, swap where they're building the road, I mean, I think it's a good idea.
okay, well, I'll get hold of and try to proceed as soon as we can.
Okay.
So we'll table this issue until Mr. Flynn and the MDT get their paperwork lined out. Anything else on this? Mr. Price, would you like to go ahead with your discussion?
Yeah, do I need to come up here, or what do you want me?
You can come up here.
Alright. I've never done any of this, so, like I said, it was an accident that I'm here. I just wanted to discuss Price Road for a minute with you guys. I don't know if you've seen pictures of the road in the last little bit, I know all the counties got water problems. But I'm Jeff Price and I've been there for 50 years and I know that that road never had a base. It's never been built to county standards. Now, we have an opportunity right now because God just took the road, most of it out. I have just been opening a gravel pit. I need to get it tested. I'm learning right now as to what I need to do. But I'm a mile up the road in Jefferson County, and most of it's 3.5 minus material. It packs down hard as a rock. It made a great base. And I'm suggesting that we use this gravel to fix Price Road, and then we're gonna have to come in there and, there's no culverts for the crossing, so it just runs till it hits something, then pushes across the road, it runs down the road. My neighbor Gary Green sent several letters to Dana, and he's not getting any responses, and he's not sure why. So I told him I'd come in and talk to Dana, and that's how I ended up here. I went to Dana's office, he says he might be here. But I'm proposing that I get this sampled and give you guys an opportunity to get a reasonably good deal, plus a short trucking, to take this gravel and build Price Road. I don't know if you've got any questions for me. Like I said, I don't know even how to present this.
You have some information with you we could give to Dana?
I don't have any information. Just-
Alright.
This is the county road standards,
Oh, very good.
and so they said come up and ask some questions, so, like I say, the road, number one, has never had any road base put in it. Number two, there's no culverts. Number three, they continue building, and so now the traffic is wearing the road out, quickly. And I'm providing an opportunity with a short haul with gravel that should help the county save a lot of money.
what is it be like 3 to 5 miles, what would it be in Broadwater County there?
It's about 6.
6?
It would be 6 from the county line to the highway.
To where it's paved, where Price Roads come down to the.
Well, there would probably be 4 from there, yeah, from where the pavement is.
So that needs new base down through there too.
Yeah, from basically where that pavement ends, all the way in, there was no base. If you drive on it right now, I mean, you need a serious 4-wheel drive to go through the potholes. When the county grades it, basically they just take the loose material, put it in the pothole, and then as soon as you drive through it, it pushes the material back out because there's no base. So nothing to grade. And I don't know what they've seen, but right now, I mean, it's washed out in a lot of places. Like, they tried to bring some gravel in, but they bring that light gravel in, it just washes out as soon as it gets.
Lime rock?
Well, I'm not even sure what it is, it's just a smaller rock. So, that's what I had to discuss with you guys. I appreciate you taking a minute.
Yeah, 'cause we're gonna be doing a lot of talk on these roads.
Oh, I know.
So,
I know,
we
yeah,
had,
and
we had this information now to,
so, and I mean, there's enough gravel there, roads around there, we could use that gravel if you want. If I can get it tested and passes, so. Thank you for your time.
well, thanks for coming in on
All
this
right,
here.
that's all I had to say, thanks,
Okay.
Thank you.
take care. Do you need phone numbers or anything, or you?
You know, it'd be great if you could give us some contact
Do I
information
do
forward
that
to
now?
Dana. Yeah, it'd be
It's
perfect.
Jeff Price,
Right?
and it's 801 554-8268. And then my hall is 406-285-9010.
90-10.
9010, yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to buy a loader right now, so I might even be able to load it for you guys, depending on how that works. So I don't know if you can allow me to load county
Well-
trucks, or if that would be.
I know that part had to be worked out. And it could be, I think it'd be a good idea myself, but,
I mean, we either need to use this material, you're gonna have something big enough to break it up, cause it's hard. But once it breaks up, it just packs down beautiful. Big excavator, we use an excavator, I'm looking at a 831 loader, weighs about 50,000 pounds, it'll dig it up. So, you know, when Jefferson came over there, they used some of my material, and, but their loader wasn't big enough to take it out, so they moved over to another spot and didn't do a very good job on the rest of the road from my gravel pit down to the county line on Price Road, so that's what they will need if I don't load it. So, there's plenty of room for use, so thank you.
yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, we'll move into our partnership meeting with Forest Service, BLM, BOR, and Fish, Wildlife, and Parks.
Brandon had a comment he wanted
Or
to,
did you have something?
You got a minute?
Sure.
You want me to come over here?
I'm sorry, I should
That's all right.
have done one.
I'll make this pretty quick. I get it, the county's busy right now, a lot going on with flooding, roads, damage, culverts, you name it, it's going on all over countywide. We can't fix everything today, tomorrow, or anytime soon. Last night, Grayson Creek Road is washed out, has been for a couple weeks. And we put a truck in the ditch there last night, got it through there, almost tipped it over, got up there, unloaded the hay, came back down, truck fell in this time, bent my tie rod, I gotta go through the front end now, it's gonna cost me $300, $400, $500 to fix the truck. And that's a responsibility that, as a taxpayer who's driving these roads all the time, I just can't afford to fix them with all the roughness of the roads. And I get it, the county doesn't have time necessarily to fix a lot of these roads, but some of them are so bad that if a car got in them, you're not getting out. I mean, something's gonna break. So, like the Grayson Creek Road, it'd take me 10 minutes to fix that road, get a grader up there, a dozer up there, or something, fill in the ruts. These vehicles can pass through it. So, basically what I'm asking here today is to say, you know, do I send a bill to the county for all the damage of these trucks and the rough roads to get them refixed if they're bouncing down all these roughness? Or can us as farmers just go out there and fix our roads? Can we have permission to go out there with our graders and our levels, blades? And yeah, there won't be like the county will do with the actual grader, although some of us farmers around here have graders. But at least we can get them passable until the county has time, because we're so busy, to actually go in there and actually fix the roads. So what I'm asking for really is permission to fix the roads. on our own property, on our own areas, so that we could drive through there and not beat our vehicles to death and have all these issues.
I think in an emergency situation, it's liability, you know, otherwise, but this is a different, excuse me, an emergency situation actually, especially for you guys to try and get farms to market situation, so I don't know how others feel, but I think you should be able to do it.
I know, like just below the house there by Watney's, on Flynn Lane on the hill, I mean, it's first gear, you're going 5 miles an hour at the most, 3 miles an hour, or you're gonna fly somewhere. I mean, it's just so rough. It would take me 20 minutes and I can go get it at least passable again.
My hesitation with that, and without Dana here, I don't think we can override him. But I believe there are laws governing who can work on county roads, and for this commission to bypass those, I think would be a huge error. We need to have Dana coordinate with you, maybe we can all sit down together, but without Dana here, I don't think we can bypass the law on that. We're gonna have to have solid legal guidelines for something like that, so if we're gonna go that direction, we need to make sure we have a conversation with Dana and possibly Corey.
'Cause I know we could make the road so much safer without putting anyone at risk than just leaving them the way they are. I mean, right now, if somebody flies down that road and hits that, I mean, especially Grayson Creek, they fall on that thing at 30 miles an hour, who knows what's gonna happen? I mean, the safety risk is huge, where in 10 minutes I could fix it, or half hour or whatever, and I mean, we alleviate all the problems. And we alleviate the safety and the liability, because it's fixed, it's done.
Like I say, under the emergency situation, in fact, there was a deal out there on Little Mountain Road the other day. Guy took his own loader and put some gravel in there so they could get through. There was with a big truck and some other stuff. As far as I'm concerned, emergency situation, you can't, but I'm just.
I can picture Dana months from getting out there, because he's got all these bigger issues to deal with. It might take him a long time to get out there and fix that road, where I'll do it this afternoon.
I think he was headed out there this morning.
He was gonna do Lightning Barn, I think, today.
He said he was gonna do something on Grayson Creek too.
Well, he might.
Well, that is Grayson on Lightning Barn.
Right, that's probably what he's doing, Grayson Creek, where Grayson Creek goes underneath Lightning Barn.
Yeah.
Cause I dug that out the other night, so I'm sure he is filling that trench back in. Yep.
Definitely coordinate with him.
If he says I can do it, then it's okay?
As far as I'm
As
concerned.
long as the law allows it, I coordinate with Dana, and he'll coordinate with us, and we'll just make sure we follow the law however we move forward. That would be my suggestion.
But Dana can say, do it, and I can do it, or does he have to go, is this gonna be a weak process to get permission to do it? Or
I
if
would
Dana
think
says
so.
fix it,
Dana
just
has-
fix it?
And if that's the case, the county can go put some cones out showing that there's road damage or something to that effect, or
Well, there are
signs.
cones everywhere.
It's full of them.
The road's littered with cones,
Yeah.
yep.
Brandon, talk to Dana. If he can come up with a plan, then absolutely. If he has any questions on legalities, then I would imagine he'd come back to us.
Okay, but if he says
there's
do
no
it,
issues, yeah,
just do it.
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the final say on that, not you guys, he is.
well,
only if
we
you have a
should
question,
be.
it comes back to us.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I have your permission as the commissioners, if Dana says yes, to fix the road.
Yeah, get it to where it's passable, because I'm sure we're gonna have to go in there and do some more.
Well, yeah,
Base
I
work
mean,
and everything.
there's gotta be gravel hauled everywhere, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a mess. All we're doing is making them passable,
Right.
yep. So, perfect, thank you for your time, appreciate it.
Thank you.
thanks.
You bet.
I had one more comment, guys, if we could real quick on a different issue. I had a rather unpleasant conversation with my guy who leased the ground floor up on Deep Creek. When the county put the new bridge in at Clopton, which is a nice bridge, two issues. One, they tore out all the fence alongside the bridge, and also for about 150, 200 feet going down Clopton Lane to the south. And then they used, this guy's, it's Fox Fenton out of Texas, I lease his ground. They used his ground to put materials, which is fine, they had my permission, but there's still a lot of concrete pieces on that property that do need to be removed. And I know they're busy, there's no hurry, but just keep in mind that the stuff needs to be taken off his property.
Okay.
And then as far as the fence that they destroyed, putting the bridge in, I really think the county should replace it to the standards that it was before this happened. I've seen quite a few other culverts put in the county, your place for one, where the fence has never been fixed.
Buried and left, yeah.
Yeah, buried, left, and never addressed. I think it needs to be the county policy. If fencing is destroyed in a county project, unless there's a policy to where the fence is not, you know, they're not responsible for fence damage, I think the fence needs to be replaced if the county destroys it. So. And obviously this is a very low priority at this point. Let's take care of the roads and the flooding first, but something needs to be looked at some point.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks, Warren. Sean mentioned just the other day that they are not done over there, there's still cleanup.
Yeah.
But he said exactly what you're saying. It might wait a little while until we take care of the flooding.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we do have that policy with fences, so thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, that's what I told Fox. He was rather, he didn't want me to get on it and build it immediately. And I said, I didn't do it, so.
Right, it should be taken care of all right.
Okay, guys. Sounds good.
If not, let us know.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, Laura.
Welcome. Okay, I'm good, how are you? Good. Good.
Okay, who's got good news for us?
Yeah, I was hoping you'd raise your hand.
I'm here, that's good news.
I don't even have good news, huh?
Guess I can start off, I'm not sure how, I mean, fairly informal, I'm assuming, but I'm the new district ranger in Townsend, Mike Welker, and I'm happy to be here. I have met Frank already, but one thing I wanted to do is, you know, come and meet all of you. Our partners I have met, you know, we've had a meeting or two, but I don't know if you're interested in my background or anything like that. But
I am.
can, okay. I
Yeah.
can reduce it, I won't start at birth. Wait, I'm 35, I'm older than I look, or younger. I've been with the Forest Service 15 years. Prior to that, I worked for Wyoming Game and Fish, so state agency for 10 years, Cody, Sheridan, Buffalo. Forest Service 15 years ago, and I started out in the Midwest in Illinois, where I grew up. I grew up on my grandpa's farm in south central Illinois, so my forests were corn and soybean fields, you know, literally. So very, you know, used to, you know, the agricultural community. I think the closest town to us, you know, to the 4 farms when I was a kid that were out there, was about 5 miles away and 300 people. So Townsend's big in comparison. My background is really fish and wildlife, is what I've done a lot of. But I have done details as district ranger before, and staff officer position for natural resources. But the last position that I moved from, the Front Range of Colorado, I didn't look back in the rearview mirror, I can tell you that. I was ready to get out, but I was a program manager and a staff officer for a while there. But really wanted to move the family to, you know, a smaller community where I feel like I belong, you know, something, I want to be part of the community. We lived in town, or kind of, we're out on Springville Lane, the subdivision out there, but family-wise, 2 boys, 11 and 14, they're both in school here, wife Susan, and we're all just happy to be here anyway. and look forward to working with all of you and our partners on projects on the forest.
Welcome. Nice to meet you, I'm Laura. Nice to,
I'm Mike Diller, nice to meet you, welcome to town.
And so we're missing one? No?
no, it's three of us. This is
Oh.
Janaea.
Okay.
She is taking our minutes today.
And I can continue on with our update if you'd like. I brought my expert, David, who you all know, that's got a really good handle. I've been here a month, so my head is literally still spinning. I mean, there's, you know, you think about a small town, you know, and, you know, this piece of the forest, you know, the slower paced life, not on the forest. I mean, there's a whole lot going on right now, and a whole lot going on with our partners. But I will start out, I'll just give you a quick update on Johnny Crow, and you guys are all familiar with the project and the litigation, and then turn it over to David for some more specific project information. But Johnny Crow, we just recently filed our response, you know, for a motion for summary judgment, and that's where it sits right now. And I don't know, you know, Region 2 dealing with the courts there, I mean, you know, litigation, it's hard to say when we'll hear from the judge, you know, when we'll be done with this, when there'll be a settlement, if there is. I know I've been involved in some that have gone on for years, but those seem to be bigger. You know, a small resource-specific project like this, you know, we're hopeful that it will end quicker. David's been here longer, so he probably has a better idea of, you know, how it might play out, but we're very hopeful. It's a great project. And hopeful that we can, you know, get some kind of judgment here quickly.
Our telegraph project in Helen has been, it's in the same situation. It was, went into the courts in late July, early August, and it's still in the court system, and we haven't heard back. So it could be a couple weeks, could be a year for the Johnny Crow project. So.
Yeah, I'd like to remain optimistic. Sometimes I feel I'm a naive optimist, but we got litigated back in Colorado, and we don't get litigated near as much, or we did there as here, from what I've heard. Any resource extraction type project, I mean, somebody's gonna come at us. But we had one that was just over a travel map, and it took, and I'm not exaggerating here, 3 years to get to the settlement. And the settlement was a 5-year environmental impact statement that we're in about year 2 completing. And it can be kind of a crazy world at times when we get into litigation, but I'm gonna remain optimistic anyway.
As part of projects, Holloway, salvage, the timber harvest is completed on that piece. We still have some piles to burn up there on those pieces. There's gonna be some road work, of course, once things dry out up there, be able to do some road work on that piece. So that's coming to the end. We still have burning to do in Cabin Gulch, started that project, still about 2,000 acres total to burn. We'll have probably about 150 that we'll try to hit this spring to around 300 acres this spring that would be burning. And then also up Weasel Creek, we have about 300 acres up there in Horse Thief Park up on top also that we'll be looking at as windows allow, and then also assisting the BLM with some burning out here in Iron Mass country too, so helping there. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll see some, as things dry out and we can start with the burning pieces there. So be seeing some smoke in the air from that and coordinating with Ed and everybody else on our contact list. So those are the pieces. Just handouts for you guys, what we have for kind of what we have for wildfire, kind of what we're looking for potential outlook. Right now it's kind of it's looking well from a wildfire standpoint. However, eastern Montana, they're looking at probably for having some early wildfires as we're coming out of the snow melt. And then once long term, we're still looking pretty good across the state. It's a little drier in May than normal in pieces, but they're looking average temperature, average precip in those pieces. Last year around this time we were 71% of normal for water for precip and for the water year, and right now we're sitting at 125%. So a little better. Last year May was our big, May and June really hit us hard. We only had 1.25 inches in June, which is usually our high month for precip, so that really dropped us down. It was about 80% of what we normally got in June, and that kind of set us up for that low